other people might want to come. Cheers, Peter.
VK6CS. Evening, Joan. Evening, Peter. I wonder if you can hear me tonight, Pete. And cheers, Joan, if you're clearing off. VK6CS.
Well, it is burning there, Steve.
Yes, I've been listening for a bit actually, but I've just connected this radio up. I was using the other radio. I did put a call out, but if I'd have turned the power up on the other radio, it probably would have been okay. But I'm using about 40 watts on the 857, and I did actually try it earlier on, and had a quick chat with Ray, and yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was talking to Craig on the phone, and Craig was telling me that it sounded pretty good. So I tried it last night, and it's no good at all. I could bring the repeater up, but it's amazing tonight. I mean, I'm actually I'm actually recording this at the moment, but yeah, it's a 9 plus signal. Absolutely amazing. It must have a timeout on this radio, or an intermittent connection somewhere. But yeah, I think it's 160 kilometres away, and it sounds like Rolling Stone. VK6PM, VK6CS.
Yeah, VK6CS, VK6PM. No, I'm amazed. I'm amazed at the quality of it and the distance. You know, it's an amazing distance, and it's just doing really well with it. These works that have been put in, I'm really pleased. There, Steve. It's a bit funny when you consider the distance between the two stations and then the path it's taken, though. VK6CS, VK6PM.
Yeah, what you mean being 90 metres apart, and the QSO having a path distance of what, 320 kilometres over. Yeah, I could probably. Yeah, that's right. I could probably open the window and have a QSO with you.
Yeah, but it's good. You know, I mean, it basically means that you should be able to have contact. If somebody's driving up that way, they should be able to maintain pretty good contact the whole distance there, Steve. Over.
Yeah, VK6PM, VK6CS. Maybe. Bear in mind that we're reasonably elevated. I don't know if Joan's got an elevated position there, or whether Joan's down on the flat, but certainly Joan sounded fine through the repeater, and Ray sounded great through the repeater as well. So yeah, it's going great guns tonight. It's a chalk and cheese between last night and tonight, that's for sure. VK6PM, VK6CS.
Yeah, roger there, Steve. Yeah, I've just had one of these cheap dash cams blow to bits. Still working it, mind you, but the battery in it expanded. It's blown to bits. One of these ones they sell at Harvey Norman's. That you see, you know, around the 90 dB mark, but heat of the car was too much for it, you know, and it's got like a little bubble battery in it which turned into a little balloon battery, and I can't even glue it back together. It's all warped. The plastic's all warped now. Just tried gluing the actual plastic together as well, but that's no good. VK6CS, VK6PM.
VK6PM, VK6CS. Yeah, well, it's been pretty hot today. What was it, 35 degrees centigrade, something like that? And it does get very, very hot in cars. So yeah, oh well. At least it wasn't an expensive dash cam, but you need to get it replaced as soon as possible. I reckon some of the footage on these dash cams would be, you know, from just driving on the Tonkin or driving on the Kwinana freeway, would be just as good as some of the stuff you get from Russia. Were you involved in that thing in Abernethy Road today? I was coming back from Midland to Kewdale and I saw the vehicle come roaring round the corner there, and there's some cops there and some trucks pulled up. There was a 10 News crew there. I wondered what was going on. That wasn't you, was it? VK6PM, VK6ZMS?
I'm not sure if it was ours. We've been involved with a ammonia leak at Hazelmere, so probably not far enough there, Steve. Over.
Actually, yeah, that probably would have been Hazelmere. Because I don't really know what those areas are called. I drive through them all the time, but you know, I know sort of where I'm going from and I know where I'm going to, and the bits in between are just a blur. I mean, I could have been wading around in ammonia or uranium or plutonium and wouldn't even have noticed probably. But that wasn't you then, VK6PM, VK6ZMS. Yeah, word from our sponsor, VK6ZMS. Yeah, okay. Well, that's. I'm surprised. I'm amazed that I didn't actually smell ammonia, because I literally drove past all the trucks were parked in the middle of the road. I drove up the left-hand side of them, and wondered what on earth was going on. And then I saw the cops and the TV crew just over by the roundabout there. But yeah, couldn't smell ammonia at all. It's pretty pungent stuff too, isn't it? So. That's quite surprising. Just out of curiosity, Pete, I'm running. I set the output power on this radio to 40 watts, which it probably means about 30 is actually coming out of it. I'm running it on the battery at the moment, so I didn't really have time to connect it to the power supply, and you know, I've been mucking around with this on that 22 amp hour battery. And it's even got the little mini sub menu is still set up for HF. It's got the noise blanker and the AGC and the auto rather than the sort of forward power or whatever. But I was running, I think, 20 watts earlier on, and Ray said was a pretty good signal into the repeater. You're certainly an excellent signal into the repeater. I'm just wondering how it sounds at the moment. Is it quieting, or is it noisy? Is it just out of curiosity? And if Joan's still listening, yes, I'm still using the antenna hanging on the curtain rail. This is amateur radio after all. VK6PM, VK6ZMS. Yeah, roger, mate. So, what do you think your ERP is at the moment?
Oh, anyone's guess. Hang on a sec.
Actually, while he's doing that, I'll just I'll just turn the power down. That's an amazing signal. That's 9++ indicated on the display. That's the new Cataby repeater the guys installed up at Cataby last weekend. What's the date today? I'm so mean, I've got a pygmy bulb in here with a diode in series with it to keep the power down. It flickers like a candle. But, you probably can't see it. I can't see my watch. I think it's the 10th today. So that would have been last, and it's Thursday. So it would have been last Sunday they put this thing up. That's 4 days ago, so it would have been on the 6th. And this repeater is about 160 kilometres from here. I'm in Armadale on the southern edge.
VK6ZS, VK6PM.
Now
I'm just going to hook up some patch cables to a power meter, and haven't got the right arrangements here in the shack at the moment. The one I thought was a PL259 on the end turned out to be an end connector into the dummy load, but drawing 5 amps on the amp meter at the moment. So yeah, that could mean anything, I suppose. VK6CS, VK6PM.
That's just beautiful. Ugh. What on earth is wrong with this blooming thing? Maybe it's the battery. There we go, it's back. I'll have to have a look at that. It's obviously... Yeah, I've obviously got some sort of intermittent connection around on this radio somewhere, Pete. It's died on me twice. You hearing me okay?
Yeah, roger there, Steve. Yep, fine. No, I was just gone for a minute or so, hunting through a box full of leads there, Steve, over.
Yeah, roger, mate. I got that bit, and I went to reply to you, and I pressed the PTT, and the radio died. That's twice that's happened. I don't know whether it's the battery or whether it's the radio, but that's really disappointing. I've just I knocked 10 watts off the output while you were looking for your connectors, so I went from 40 watts, had a set RF power of 40 watts down to 30 watts. So you couldn't tell the difference, could you?
It was a little bit more noise earlier on, but I'm not sure what you're on at the moment, but this is quite clear.
Yeah, that's weird because I was running a bit more power earlier on, but never mind. And if you're outputting 5 amps at so that's going to be 60 watts, 65 watts input, maybe something like that. So you're probably getting about 30 watts out, maybe a bit more, maybe 40 watts out. These things are sort of, I don't know, 50-60% efficient on these solid state radios. They're not hugely efficient. So if you're putting 60 watts in, you'll be getting about 35 out, I'd guess. I think I did some measurements on this particular radio, and when it's set to 30, I get about 27 watts out of it. I think 26, 27 watts. So I've got 27 watts going into the curtain rail antenna. All right, Pete. Well, I think I might call it and actually have a look at the radio and see if I can find this this intermittent problem. It did this once before, and I found there was a dodgy connection on the fuse holder, but it was literally only a case of pushing the fuse firmly home. One of the fuses was a little bit loose, but twice during this QSO I've pressed the PTT and this radio has just died, so I have to see if I can find out what's going on with that. VK6PM, VK6ZS.
Conduit
Yeah, VK6PM, VK6ZMS. Well, it's actually an independent ground mobile antenna. So you know, it's a proper antenna, and there's not much of it in the way of SWR there. So it's probably radiating reasonably efficiently. But it's the same antenna I was using yesterday. It must just be down to conditions, or maybe the repeaters just, you know, maybe there was a blowy in one of the cavities, you know, and it's people have been using the repeater so much it's fried it off, but and it's not desensing itself today. But it's working a treat tonight, isn't it? I mean, it's absolutely amazing. You would not know this wasn't a local repeater, would you? And I was listening to Jess earlier on, and I know Craig said that. You know, one of his goals was to get the repeater so that a base station in Perth could talk to a base station in Geraldton, and I've heard that tonight. I heard Glenn talking to Jess in Geraldton, and I could actually hear Jess better than Glenn could by the sound of it, because Glenn was asking him to repeat his call sign and all that sort of stuff, and although he was a bit noisy, I could hear him pretty well. I wouldn't say it was quite R5, but it's probably R4. All right, Pete. Well, I think I might leave it at that, and I'll poke this thing with a stick and see if I can find out what's going on. VK6 PM, VK for any final, VK6CS.
VK6PM going QRT, but listening.
Yep, that's the way to do it. Amateur radio at its best. Cheers, Pete. I'll catch you around. Super clue.